The first mistake that a lot of people make about being in a toxic relationship is either not admitting to themselves that they're in one or not even knowing how to identify that they're in a toxic relationship. And if you don't even know that you're in a toxic relationship, if you know none of the signs, how do you even get out of it? Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Girl Talk with Lines. Today's topic on Girl Talk is obviously a little bit heavy. I'm gonna be sharing a little bit about my personal experience on the matter, and hopefully it gives y'all a little bit of insight. So if you're new here, hey, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. And if you're back, welcome back. And without further ado, we're gonna get into the video. I don't know if a lot of people have this experience, but my first relationship was my first toxic relationship. And I say that not because necessarily it was like the relationship that was the most detrimental to my health or anything like that, but because in all honesty, it was just really overall unhealthy relationship. I say that because I really didn't understand what that meant back then, because I had like healthy relationships with my friends or whatever, but I wasn't really understanding of what a healthy relationship really meant. And there was just a lot of things that like went on pretty much from the moment that we got together. Like the first biggest thing was, y'all, he was a cheater. He cheated. He would do like a lot of little petty stuff that he knew would like aggravate me. It was that, knowing that somebody would like purposefully do things to try to get on your nerves or try to upset you or get adverse like reactions out of you. It wasn't even necessarily so like he could like play on my emotions. It was more so to like manipulate me, because like in order to like make up for like me being upset about things, he would buy me things. He would tell me all this stuff. He bought me a lot of gifts. He would give me like anything that I asked for and that I wanted, like after he would upset me. So in my mind, I was kind of like, I guess that's him like making up for it, and that wasn't even necessarily what it was. It was more so to be manipulative. I kind of didn't really like understand that, but obviously it was my first relationship. After that, there were also a lot of other things. I say like we would break up and I would go, I don't know, like talk to somebody else, because I can definitely say like I would do my little petty stuff. I didn't even know that I was perpetuating it being a bad situation for myself. Like I was younger. I really didn't know like a lot about the signs or what was healthy, considered like unhealthy, to be honest. So I kind of did a lot of that for myself. If I would like go talk to somebody else or something like that, like he would go fight them. I ended up getting to like multiple fights with girls over him, but like he tried to date someone to like get back at me. First of all, you're trying to make a relationship with somebody else who would believe that you actually want to be with them, but it's to get a bad reaction or any type of reaction out of somebody else. And that's never the basis that you build a relationship with somebody on. I would like find out all of these rumors and stuff from like other people, which was so embarrassing like in itself. Somebody that you care about, who's supposed to have like a title in your life, you find out that they did something like behind your back from somebody else. Like you can't address that person. You can't kill the messenger. Like they only telling you because they want you to know and to be informed. You can't even do anything, and then you like bring it to this person, and it's like they really don't do enough, because like it really wasn't doing enough. But other than that, also we would like get into physical fights. He like brought his parents into it. It was way too much to be going on. It was just so much going on, y'all. In my mind, I just kind of wasn't, I knew certain things were bad. I knew certain things were things that you should not be doing, but I didn't really understand how to like break out of it, because in my mind I was like, when you care about somebody, you work through it, you keep going. And obviously we tried to, but I was the one who ended up calling it off. I was the one who ended up ending it, because I was like, I can't keep doing this with somebody. I can't keep trying to be there for somebody who's not going to be there for me back. Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all the signs on how to know you're messing with somebody who is toxic, okay? Who is not good for you, who trying to hurt you, be manipulative. First of all, there are a couple of different kinds of toxic. People have different backgrounds and different upbringings that would make them, you know, different, okay? In the grand scheme of things, there are multiple characteristics that are going to define somebody who is toxic, okay? So the first one I'm gonna give you is narcissism. There are different kinds of narcissists according to psychology, but like the biggest things that you're gonna see with a narcissist is them feeling like everything that you do or everything about y'all's relationship has to be catered to them. And in a lot of situations, they'll do whatever that they have to do to feel like, or to tell themselves that you're doing it for them. In order to feel a certain way, they will give you certain things, they'll buy certain things for you, but really in their mind, it's more so to be like the perfect picture of things or to satisfy themselves, like, oh, I've been a good person. The biggest part is they'll continue to hurt you with the same exact kind of things and not really change their behavior. They'll do whatever that they have to kind of try to get that outcome, whether that is call you names, take things from you, maybe physically hurt you. Like all of those things a narcissist will do. But in their head, like it's justified because for the most part, they're gonna feel like you owe them something versus their behavior is not okay. The second thing is going to be manipulation. Okay, if the dude is the dude, girl, whoever, because women can definitely be toxic too. And we can be toxic because like mentally we can be a little bit smarter. So we might know that and be able to get away with it longer. But I ain't saying I'm toxic. Okay, I'm not. So like the biggest things about manipulation is they'll play on certain situations, certain emotions. They'll try to gain a deeper understanding of you without telling you a deeper, you know, kind of understanding of themselves. And they do this because they need to learn, you know, your vulnerable spot. If and when they want to get their way, they know how to use it against you. So this could mean in the beginning, they're like really charming. You'll look back and be like, how did this person turn into this person? But in the beginning, they'll do whatever they can do to make you comfortable. And when somebody is doing whatever they can do to make you comfortable, it's really easy to lose sight of the fact that you haven't really been let into this person. They haven't really told you anything about themselves. Later on, when they decide to use the negative side of the manipulation, they'll use all of those vulnerabilities and those weaknesses that you showed them against you to get their way. So that could be whether or not you like to shop, or you're having like a monetary downfall. If you keep your cousin or your cousins, if you keep your family really close, if you care a lot about your work, and it might not even be like to the point where you'll see that it was kind of like they'll like take those things for you. It might be like, oh, like them constantly blaming you for focusing on these things they know make up who you are and not focusing on them or doing what, you know, like they want you to do. The next thing is them not being able to own up to their own actions, their own downfalls, or pretty much who they are. You're not going to be able to hold them accountable for anything that they do, whether or not it's make you feel bad, it's whatever negative thing is going on in their life that they refuse to cut out. If they take, you know, their emotions out on you when you necessarily aren't to blame for it, they try to get you to do something that you don't want to do, and they pretty much will never see the side of it from your point of view. That is like textbook somebody who is toxic. Like run, sis, run, bro, like run if they act like this. They never like own up to anything that they do. They never really make up for it. And you gotta realize making up for something isn't necessarily going in and doing like a bunch of positive things to make up for all the negative that you did. It is really genuinely you being like, I'm going to work on no longer doing the negative things. That is what it's all about. That's how you know somebody is genuinely working towards it, is those negative things that you have pointed out to them being like, I'm actually going to work on that. If you can't ever hold them accountable for that, every time that you try to, they just bring up, oh, I did this, oh, I did this. Like, I never tried to discredit you for doing anything. I'm telling you, you do bad things that I don't like. And like that pushes their mind way out there. Like, no, they never go for it. If they do that, girl, leave them where you found them, okay? Leave them where you found them, ditch them, drop them off, okay? Drop them off. We don't need that in our lives anymore, okay? Anymore, we're done. So some other really big things that are really easy to see. This comes into the point of it no longer really being a toxic relationship, but it more so being an abusive relationship. People can be financially abusive in, relationships. Once you get to a certain age, that can actually be like a much larger theme within a toxic relationship. Instability and codependent. Somebody who is pretty much using you financially, like almost as if they were your child. And you might be a person who enjoys giving, monetary gifts. That might be your love language, but somebody might take advantage of that to the point where they don't ever really give you anything in return. You never see a reward or kind of any type of give back from what you're giving. Or that person might start feeling entitled to the things that you give them and more. The other thing would be physical abuse. That person actually putting their hands on you. In any situation, any relationship, anything, that is never okay for somebody to feel like they can hit you, okay? Whether or not it be like, oh, I was just playing, I didn't really hurt you. Putting your hands on somebody while y'all are in a relationship together, even if you don't see anything wrong with it while you're in the relationship, that is absolutely inexcusable, okay? Because you getting comfortable even with small acts of violence or aggression only leads up to you feeling more comfortable with like more things. Boom, now it's domestic violence. So that's like automatically out. Like, never ever settle for anybody who puts their hands on you. I promise you, they don't love you. They don't care about you. No matter how many times they try to apologize for it or make up for it, if they keep doing it, that is not love, okay? Your image of them is skewed by emotion. Like I said, drop it, okay? Where you picked it up, drop it. After you pick it up, drop it. Drop it off. With things like this, with abuse attached to deep, emotional attachment to somebody, there are a lot of times where somebody might actually need emotional recuperation from the situation. And there are a lot of times where people who are the toxic person in a relationship might have been in a past relationship like that, or have been in a situation like that within their lifetime and not healed from it or addressed it or grown from it. And that's the reason why they're doing things like that. And there's never any justification for hurting somebody whom you said to love. It's up to you to heal from the things that have hurt you so that you don't go hurt other people who haven't did that, and you can live, a healthy life and have healthy relationships with people. And if you know anybody who's in a situation like that, the best and kind of the biggest and like the only thing that you can do for them is be there for them and support them. You cannot make a person grow out of a situation before they're ready to. Just stick around so that they know that they have somebody who's there. Them trying to isolate you from your family or your loved ones so that you don't feel like you have anybody else to go to. Reason that's part of that manipulation. They know exactly what they're doing. That wasn't accidental. Your partner is supposed to want you to have friends and have a life outside of them. That is the healthy component of a person. To not only have, like maybe a romantic relationship, but a relationship with your family, friends as well. And if their insecurities cloud you being able to have that part of your life, they definitely aren't the right person for you. You know, you gotta tiptoe on eggshells around them. Your spirit dampens when they come around, or it's really excited when they're not around, but then it dampens when they are around, or you don't really feel yourself. Get out of situations like that because they're not good for you, okay? And that is about everything that I have for this video. Thank y'all all for watching. Thank everyone for subscribing, for liking the video. And as always, I love all of y'all.